The rising sun is specifically placed because it's from the east of Nigeria, the land of the rising sun, and also is there for a glorious future. The green stands for the prosperity of the land. So that's what your flag represents. The coat of arms is slightly more subtle. In the coat of arms, you're going to have a word or two on it. It's got the leopards we talked about, the rising sun and the black pit we talked about. Underneath it, though, there are three symbols. You know, Ohu or Oru was abolished yesterday, and people used to have those trinkets around their legs to chain them down, yes? So those things, there are three metallic, if you like horse's hoof or clips or whatever you call them. They are joined, intertwined in three, yeah? There are three of them. Can anyone explain to me why we decided to put three metallic objects in our coat of arms? People at the back, do we know why we have, there are three metallic objects, you know, pointing away from each other below the rising sun in our coat of arms? Anyone know why? What do they represent? Okay, it's three things uniting. There's unity, okay. Keep going. Trinity, yes. What else?
Freedom.
Freedom, yes. It's not what is written there. You can't quite appreciate it. Anyone know what they stand for?
Unity, peace, and justice.
Yes, that's what it says on the book, and the actual wording. But I'm talking about the ring below the rising sun. There are three symbols there. Anyone know? Do we have progenitors in Biafra land? Who are our progenitors? Big grammar, isn't it? Progenitors. Yeah, okay. Eri, who else? Arodi. And Aleri. Anyone here from away in Keri here? Ndowere. Away in Keri, yes. Nde Alo Chuku here. Arodi. Nde Alo Chuku. Hey. Nde Aguleri. Anyone Aguleri here? So basically, there's the three progenitors. Okay, the three progenitors, which are the sons of Gad. Anyone know who Gad is? Who's Gad? The seventh son of Jacob. What's Jacob in Igbo? How would you pronounce Jacob? Or anything close to Jacob in Igbo? Jacob, Yakub, Yako, Wako, Yako, Wako. So anyone Wako is a trickster, yes? Okay, is Jacob a trickster? Yeah. Yeah? Okay, so Jacob, Jacob, Wako, Wako. So Gad is grandson of Wako. Is that so? Have I got it right? No, in fact, he's the seventh son of Wako. So you're supposed to wear Wako. So you never know. Okay, so you have your three progenitors. You are the seven sons of Jacob, and all the towns in your villages and so are named after them. Okay, so that is what those three rings stand for. And then the wording, it says, what are the wordings on your coat of arms? Peace. Peace. What? Unity, justice, freedom. Look, if it's multiple choice, you're failed. You're going to pick the right answers.
Peace.
We agree there's peace there. Is peace there? Peace, freedom. Unity, freedom or justice?
Freedom.
Freedom. That's why we're going to Hull. To free our people, yes? Mentally and physically. So people, I remember as P-U-F, yeah? So you can't go wrong. So if someone asks you, what is the wording on your coat of arms? It's not peace, justice, freedom, liberty. You got to get it right. It's peace, unity, and freedom. I believe we need to be united to find our peace No, we need to be united to fight for our freedom, to secure our peace. Okay? So that's how I look at it. And then looking at the top, what animal is there?
The eagle.
What animal is that? Is the eagle?
Eagle.
Okay, someone tell me about the eagle then.
So high.
As a creature. What are the properties of eagle? Very strong, upright, yeah? The king of all the birds. It's so high. What does the Bible tell us about the eagle? Fly like the eagle, soar like the eagle. Eagle dives up, yeah? It doesn't. Okay, so it's really a great hopeful thing to be an eagle, yeah? And what about Ebe Bere Ugo Bere?
Yes.
Which one is Ugo?
Ugo is a female one now.
Which one is Ebe?
Ebe is the male eagle.
Hey, I'm not sure which of my Ebe is worse than most of yours. Ebe is kite. Ugo. Ukachi. What's Ugo?
One is the male one, one is the female one.
Have I got it wrong? No, Ugo and kite are not the same. Ebe and Ugo can be the same. Ebe is kite. Yeah? Ugo is eagle. You got that. So Ebe Bere Ugo Bere. Keshi Bebela. Aha, they're waking up. I know we're getting there. Okay, so we just happen to choose the eagle to stand to perch at the top of what? Where's your perch at the top of? Okay. Yes. What is that? What? The horn. Horn. Tusk. Horn. And you see your, what is it? Stage, what do you call them? Title men carry one of those in your hand. Yeah, you carry the drink when you go to your in-laws. Yeah? Well, what is the symbol of it there? It's authority. Yeah, you got it. So please, next time you look at this, study it carefully. The people who design it are not just writing for writing's sake. Now, so that is the background. We're now going to go to the national anthem. Okay? Now, the national anthem is titled The Land of the Rising Sun. So when you're standing on the Olympic podium, they'll be playing the Land of the Rising Sun anthem. Yes? Some people are thinking I'm mad. When Dick Tiger wanted to represent us in the Olympics, yeah, he could have won the gold for us, 1968, I believe, in Mexico. So they will have played for him the Land of the Rising Sun. Okay, so now, do anyone remember who composed the music for the Land of the Rising Sun? I didn't say. I didn't say the words. I said the music, the sound, the music. Who composed it? It's a classical, yes? Yeah. Well, a culture guy, yeah? What is the music? Who composed the music?
The Warriors.
The Warriors? Keep going. Who composed the music for your Land of the Rising Sun? It's a classic song, yes? It's Finlandia. Finlandia is the title, and Sibelius is the composer. Okay, why Finlandia? Why Finlandia? It's to do with Finland. Yeah? Why do we have to play music about Finland? Where is Finland?
Europe.
Scandinavian. Give me another Scandinavian nation.
Denmark.
Sweden.
Denmark.
Norway. Did Norway help us during the war?
Yes.
Did them? Why? Who said yes? Give me an example. Oh, hi. This man is awake. Oh, is stockfish. Yes. Yes, we got a lot of Oboroko during the war. I'll give you a restate with Diana. Oboroko is stockfish. It's usually dry, and to maintain the dryness, they put salt in it, didn't they? Now, during the war, it's quicker to unpack Oboroko bag compared to anything else. So when the plane lands at the airport, it's easier for the plane to be unloaded because Oboroko is inside the bag. And it's the busiest airport on the planet at the time when the war was going on, because the plane is circling overhead to bomb them, and they had less than 20 minutes to empty the plane. So there are people working, and one of them was seeing part of the Oboroko putting in his mouth, and he was told because he was hungry. So you have to wonder why he's unloading and no one is feeding him. But that's the Biafran nature. But they was reminded that, you know, we got a job to do. So to cut a long story short, Norway is where the stockfish comes from, and they were part and parcel of those who helped us. There's something called NORAD. NORAD is the charity organization. They've had planes which allowed us to survive. People like me queued up during the war as children to do. Here we are. I'm not talking rubbish. And you take your bowl and you lined up and they pour some milk in your plate. And you carry it and you drink it and you had diarrhea. Water was dirty, but you had to drink something. But we survived. So NORAD, there are those who brought the food into Uli Airport in spite of being bombed, and some of them were actually killed. So when you're going to Hull, remember, people have made sacrifices for the sake of Biafra. Where was I? The national anthem. Finland, which is part of the Scandinavian country, had the major battle with Russia, because Finland is a tiny island, a tiny country compared to mighty Russia. They fought and actually defeated and survived the attack with the Russians. So they composed a song to remind themselves. So Biafra compared to Nigeria is analogous. You have to overcome your mighty enemy. And therefore by singing Finlandia, it's a rousing song to strengthen those who are going to battle. Remember, those who are going to battle went in with their rags, their t-shirts, their shirts, they're barefooted. They had one rifle between two. If the one in front dies, the one behind picks it up. And some of them, you see this star you're seeing in your national anthem, in your card, they want to die wearing it in their badge. It was such an honor. So when you're wearing anything with the Biafran rising sun, remember, people went into battle at least hoping they had the rising sun on their shoulders. Right, so Finlandia was composed by Sibelius, and what we're going to do now, because I had the privilege, I say, in the primary school days, one day before the war started, the teacher said, "This is your national anthem." Oh, okay. And they helped us to learn it. And it goes like this. It's on the musical side. It goes, mi, re, mi, fa. Join me if you know it. Mi, re, mi, do, re, mi. Make sure you're reading it. Mi, re, mi, fa. Mi, re, mi, do, re, mi. So, 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 la. Mi, so, so, re, re, ma. Fa, mi, re, mi. Do, re, re, mi, mi. So, 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 la. Mi, so, so, re, re, fa. Fa, mi, re, mi. Do, re, re. Do. Oh, hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra. 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 So that is the music. Now, I know there's so many versions. And one day we should have a harmonized version. Now, some of you here can actually sing. I heard something to sing. So why don't we get together and practice and sing so each of us can play the version which everyone have agreed to. So should we use that as a project next year? Yeah? Why don't we have people literally singing this properly? Yeah? So, yeah. So we need to get it, because I've seen when Biafrans are having their funeral, the national anthem is being played, not many of us understand what to say, and so on and so forth. It's 50 years of pain, but we're getting there. We're going to overcome this particular obstacle. Now, let's get into the words, because the words are the thing that actually does the rousing. I'm going to share with you the first verse. I'm going to read it. As I read it out, you also look at it, because somebody sat down and put this pen to paper. What is the background? The historic background was that between 50 and 100,000 of our people have been killed in the north and the west of Nigeria in 1966. And it took 1966 to 1967 of trying to work out whether we are still Nigerians or Biafrans. So Nnamdi Azikiwe, when he realized the whole thing is worked for all his life, a big, wonderful Nigerian country, which will help move Africa to another level, restoring the dignity of man, has been hijacked and crashed. So he joined in the Biafran struggle. And he was able to, with all his brain, to produce, or maybe with other people, these lines which are worded here for us to cherish. He's no longer around, but we need to respect the way they composed this. If you imagine this was in the 60s, Nnamdi Azikiwe would have been among the first Biafrans to have gone to university, ever. And that was the generation that went to university. Now we're coming to generation 2, generation 3 or 4. Imagine what would happen in the Biafran land when we get to generation 7 of families that have been to university. So I'm making this point because those people who came before us, who were there during the 60s, 67 to 70, were seriously educated. They were able to confront their problems. They worked together. Some were, majority of them were abroad as students. They were having money sent from home, but when the war started, that could no longer be sustained. They had to make ends meet. They have to also join in the war efforts. And one of them is sitting here with us, but that's another story. Now, I'm going to go into this national anthem. It started by saying, "Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish." They tell you that, Biafrans, you don't love yourselves. You don't love each other. You don't love your land. I tell you, we do. Every Christmas, people stream home to remember their village, where they're from. So when he says, "Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish," he meant that. He wasn't saying it for saying sake. We love our homes, we love our lands, and so on. And it said, "Beloved homeland of our brave heroes." Now, people have already died before the war started. I'm not sure if you're following me. People were coming from the north. Not only were they beheaded, those who were beheaded were put back in the train. So that when they arrive at Enugu, you see people with heads missing, limbs missing, tummy eviscerated, meaning just cut open. Those who are pregnant, their pregnant child were aborted, kicked like dustbin, kicked like football. We suffered like no one else has. The most painful thing about our suffering is that nobody outside Nigeria are taking us seriously. Yes. They think it's a tribal bloodletting, but if in fact it was genocide. It's like terrorism. If today somebody said someone arrived in the airport, let's say Heathrow, threw people out from the plane, killed them in front of the airport, ransacked and shot everybody there, you say it's an act of terrorism. But this happened in Kano Airport in 1966 in May. They arrived, plane coming from UK, BOAC, as it used to be called then, bringing people to Nigeria, passengers who are of Biafran origin, were dragged out and killed in the airport. In the airport, body left strewn all over the airport. Gunfire in the airport. That is an act of terrorism. Nobody cares because you are Biafrans. But so when this is written, it's written because we have suffered. She said, beloved homeland of our brave heroes. These are true heroes. But the most important thing for me for those heroes is that our people, unlike other situations where you send international aid to go and help those who have fled, 2 million people just descended in one part of the world, part of the country. No assistance. Each family had to absorb at least a relative. I don't know if you are following this. There's somebody in your family who was affected. When they return to your village, you absorb them back. That's extended family system. That's what saved them. So while that was going on, they're trying to work out what to do next. Nigeria, rather than sympathizing with them, invaded them. He killed them to kick them out, killed them to try and bring them back in. So that's where I'm going to hold. I don't know about you. This nonsense has to stop. So let's go back to page 3, to line 3. We must defend our lives or we shall perish. Anyone remember hearing that recently? Who said that? How about Theophilus Danjuma? Did he use this word? Yes. We must defend our lives or we shall perish. We say good morning to him. He's just waking up. Ours was 50 or so years ago. We realized that we have to defend our lives or we shall perish. That was what the Biafran war was about. Okay? If we didn't defend, they would have wiped you out. And nobody would have said anything. They're just always tribal misunderstanding. And you will not have anything called the Biafrans or the Igbos around. And that was the intention, genocide. So when Nandeziki said, we must defend our lives or we shall perish, they know what the problem was. It was about security. Do we have security in Nigeria today? No. They were saying, let's end the Biafra-Nigerian war so we can guarantee the safety of the Igbos. You cannot trust and guarantee your security to anybody else other than yourselves. So you understand that the importance of that line. We must defend our lives or we shall perish. The next one said, we shall protect our hearts. You see how I pronounce it? We shall pronounce our hearts from all our foes. It's not protect our hearts. Have you all seen that? It didn't say protect our hearts. It said protect our hearts. Do you know the difference? And it's not a spelling mistake, it's T-H-S. It's not T-S. H-E-A-R-T-H-S. It's pronounced hearts, not hearts. I hope I'm making this point here. And it's deliberate. Aha! Now someone is now asking, someone has spotted the difference between hearts and hearts. Yes? So we all know what the heart is. If Nnamdi Azikiwe went to say, we shall protect our hearts from all our foes, he would have put that, wouldn't he? Do you say Nnamdi Azikiwe made a mistake? Because he said already we must defend our lives so we shall perish. Why would he then go in the next verse say we should protect our hearts? Doesn't make sense. So I even have to look at it. I have to go and look at it myself. Who's got Google? Please Google hearts. It's not the same as hearts. Yeah? Aha! Someone is heart is a B. Aha! We're coming. Yes. Yes. Anyone else? What's hearts? Have we Googled it? Okay, that's possible. Yes. Well, we're talking about OB is close. Hearts means fireplace. Fireplace. Yeah. Now, OB, what do you do in the fireplace? You congregate and cook pounded yam. Yeah. That's where you warm yourself. That's the center of attraction in your house. This is where the action happens in every house, in every household. That is our where we gather. Yes. So you not only protect your, because they've been chasing us from north. You run down to Owerri, let's say, and from Owerri you run into your village, then into your compound, then into your house. Now from the sitting room into the kitchen, and they're still chasing you. Okay? They, in fact, you abandoned the kitchen, went to the garden. and they pin you down on the wall. That's why we fought, because if we didn't, we would die. So the war was a war of survival. It wasn't a war of we're declaring war. They came to us to wipe us out. So if anyone survived the war, like myself, is indeed a victory. So that's the thing Nigerians did not understand, that although the war ended, we survived. And I'll tell you for why, and for free. After the war, the Biafrans went on greeting each other. Hey, happy survival, nah. Happy survival, ne. Happy survival, muni. Happy survival, team. Happy survival, everyone. Because it was a survival war. The fact that he survived is why you and I are here. Some of us are generation 1 of Okweri. You know what I mean by Okweri? Okweri is someone who survived the war. The one who was not eaten by war. So, this thing I'm saying to you is very, very important. So, by protecting your house from all your foes is what the whole thing was about. The next line says, but if the price is death, yes, then for all we hold, everything that made us of great value to us, if the price of it is dying, then let us die without a shred of fear. Okay? So that's how far they pushed you. So if you're going to die, well, let's die. Because, and that's why when Nnamdi comes and tells you, we're not afraid of anybody. No fear before your enemies. And that is the biggest weapon that scares your enemy. They know you don't care anyway. You died enough. So the extra, we're going to die anyway. So fear is ruled out if you're an IPOB. It's here in your national anthem. Yes? So you need to understand it. Let us die without a shred of fear. Okay? And fear has torment, says the good book. Yeah? The only thing you should fear is God himself and nobody else. Okay? So therefore, let's remember not to be fearful of what we should eat, where we're going to grow, and all sorts of nonsense. They're all temporary. So you stay firm, committed to your cause, because every single dictatorship, every single oppression ends. And they end because you resist them. You resist them because you're not afraid any longer. Okay? When the women come out in the world and say they want to know what happened to Nnamdi Kanu, they were arrested. They were not afraid. They were singing their songs. Yeah, they came out. The interesting thing, when people go to prison in Nigeria because of Biafra cause, when they come out, they're stronger than before they went in. So the fear factor is removed because they're no longer afraid of dying. They think they're going to die anyway. So your national anthem says a lot about you as a character. And I think personally it's one of the best national anthems on the planet. But that's me. I don't know about you. All hail Biafra.
All hail Biafra.
The second verse then says, hail to Biafra, consecrated nation. Anyone tell me more about this consecrated nation? Holy is getting warm, yes. Consecrated, yes. What's consecration? A what? Authority from God. When I say empowered by God, why use consecrate? Why say consecrated? Anointed, getting better, yes. Any other words for consecrated? Instituted, dedicated, yeah. Consecrated nation. You're supposed to be holy, supposed to be set aside. You don't do what everybody else does. You have God in your head, and you have to do what will please him. Some people are believers, but they only believe when everybody's watching. It's good to be a believer through and through, whether anyone's watching or not. So watch your behavior. That's what Nnamdi's been preaching. He screams, he tells you guys, we got to change our attitude. Yeah? Not Biafrans tonight, or today, and Nigerians at night, or doing things which you're not supposed to do. So you're a consecrated nation, and it has a consequence. If you're consecrated by God, then you can't do stupid things. This OSU system that was banished yesterday is a big example of it. You can't say a consecrated nation, then you have Isuyu in your midst. Okay? So it's a victory for us. All hail Biafra. And it says, O fatherland, this be our solemn pledge. You're consecrated, now you're making an oath. You're pledging that you're going to defend. Defending thee shall be a dedication. It's not something you're doing in the morning and at night you forget about it. It's a dedication. You're dedicated, that's what consecration, dedicated to God. You know, there are those who are dedicated to certain gods, little g gods. You understand that? They are consecrated to certain gods. But you are dedicated, and you've been a consecrated nation, but your dedication is defending that consecration. Does that make sense? And it says, spilling our blood will count a privilege. If we have to die, we die. But if you spill your blood, it will be a privilege. And I tell you for free that during the war, there are soldiers who were wounded. As soon as they feel better, they want to go back to the front. One of my uncles had a shell shock. I don't know if you understand what a shell shock is. He was fighting in Calabar sector. It's one of the officers. So a shelling came and landed where he was. He was, of course, injured, and someone carried him out. And the way they carried him out is that the shelling was so intense that when the shelling lands in one hole, they run into that hole to dodge the next shell. Why? Because they're hoping that the shell will not land in exactly the same spot. I don't know if you're following this. So as they were shelling, they were literally using the holes made by the previous shell to dodge and come out. He was saved, but as soon as he recovered, he went back. Why? Because people like me need to be protected. So they were dedicated. It's not the only one. You go to any film you see, those who died, who were injured, as soon as they feel better, they want to go back to the front. Okay? Because if they didn't, then their family, in fact, some of them don't even know where their families are. Because they ran away from the village, you don't know where they are, so you're fighting to prevent further families being killed. So spilling our blood, we count a privilege. Now, this is where you got your flags. At this stage, I would like everybody to have a flag, but you haven't got a flag on you. It says, the waving standard. The standard is a flag which emboldens the free. Shall always be a flag of liberty. This person, Krakupo, hey, I don't know if you're following this. Yeah, the waving standard. The standard is like a flag. When you wave it, like a waving standard, yeah? And that emboldens, gives energy, power, you know, empowers the free. Because you can only be free, you can only be emboldened when you're free to do what you want to do. Yeah? So the waving standard, which emboldens the free, shall always be our flag of liberty. Hey, someone put this together. Oh, this man, do you know what they called him? They said this is a protein character from the Igbo forest. That's how they describe Zeke. Nnamdi Azikiwe. He said it's a protein character from the Igbo forest. They have to technically, you have to come from the forest, isn't it? But this guy, Grakupo, so you are very, very fortunate to have this sort of phraseology put in your national anthem. So I'm going through these in detail, so when you're singing this, you understand the suffering people have gone through, the meaning behind it, so you come out to make your own contribution for the sake of your people. All hail Biafra.
All hail Biafra.
Then he went on to verse 3 and saying, we shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal. In spite of what has happened, you know what, guys? Biafra is coming. We are going to emerge triumphant. I mean, that day I had to learn to dance. I've been taking some lessons, by the way. So, because there are those who can dance better than me. So on that day, there'll be a triumph. We are going to really emerge triumphant. We're going to emerge triumphant from whatever has happened to us from the ordeal, yes? And through the crucible, unscathed will pass. Through the crucible, a crucible is what exactly? The furnace, yeah. It's like you've been chucked into a pot, a frying pan. He said, we're going to emerge, we'll emerge unscathed, we will pass. If they put us through fire, we're going to come out of it. Yes? When we are poised, the wounds of battle to heal, there'll be a time when we now sit down and reflect and let this wound that happened to us heal. I don't think we have healed. You can understand the way we behave towards each other, the way we behave to others. My deputy and I sit down, we analyze it. Why are people like this? Just like this, why are our people behaving the way we do? Why can't we see the option before us? We're going to Hull, and they're enjoying their end of year. And there is an IPOB union, and they think IPOB is coming to upset their meal. That's so important. Yeah? So we haven't healed. We need to heal. We need to pause and just reflect on what has happened to us. So when we are poised the battle of wood to heal, we shall remember those who died in mass. If you remember those who have died, then as you're alive, it's not by the way you're the strongest person. It's not because you're the most religious person, the most godly person that you survive. In a war, it's like throwing a stone into a market. You don't know who will hit. If they shell from 15 miles away into your village, what that means, an artillery will fire from Elele to Ubinzi, let's say. And it can land anywhere. You can be buried underneath the artillery barrage. So during the war, we used to run inside a bunker. I explain it to you. You dig a hole like a trench, you put palm trees over it, and you put sand over it. And when the shell is coming, you hide inside that hole. If the shell lands on the hole, you are dead anyway. There's no defense. If it lands outside it, there's a chance you might come out alive. That is just artillery shell. You're not in the war front, but 15 miles away they can hurl an artillery shell to land where you are. Okay, that's artillery. Then the plane will turn up and terrorize the village. The plane could land and drop its ordnances, its payloads anywhere. Okay, and you could be one of the victims. If that didn't kill you, well, starvation might get you. And if it's not you that's affected, someone related to you could be affected. So war, you can't predict who is gonna die because mass die during the war. So war should always be the last resort. There are those who are telling them, let's pick up weapons, let's defend ourselves. You're defending yourself with truth, which is so powerful. Okay? If that fails, they will have fulfilled all righteousness. Just like the first war, we may have to pick up the arms and defend ourselves because we have no choice. But let's go through the referendum route and all the peaceful route. And it is possible that even if we go into another war, we still have to sit down and talk. Okay? So those of you who feel they got a better strategy, well, think about what has happened before and learn from the history. So we shall emerge to remember those who died in mass, and we call mass Igwe. You know, we really, they died before the war, during the war, and after the war, and they're still killing us. We have to remember all these people. That's what 30th of May is about. So to say to me, well, you know, you didn't know it's the 30th of May, you're not available, that is really a lame excuse. I'd like you all to turn up on the 30th of May. Maybe I start taking roles and finding people. Then you know how serious it is. It's, by the way, compulsory for all IPOB members to be at 30th of May gathering. So we'll make sure to enforce that. Then he said, then shall our trumpets peal the glorious song of victory with scored our might and wrong. See how that one was put together? When we poised, we remember the war is over, we escaped, we emerged triumphant, then there'll be the celebration, the trumpets. Pealing means just sounding the glorious song, this song of victory, which we have scored over all the evils, all the might, the superpower to try to squash you, what they call the quick kill policy. Quick policy, by the way, is that the longer this war drags on, the more people say, hey, these Biafrans have a case, so let's look into it and see how we can help them. But if we kill them quickly and sweep it under the carpet, then nobody will remember. And that's why it was a bitter war. They were in a hurry to kill us all off, and we are in a hurry to defend ourselves. So, it's a victory then, scored over might and wrong, when we can get Biafra. And then the last one, I don't know if this is helping.
Yes.
Then the last verse says, "Oh God, protect us from the hidden pitfall." Now there's some people you bump into, they said, "Oh, we don't want to bring God into this thing. We should leave God out." Okay, try stop breathing. Because for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. He has found upon the seas and established upon floods. Okay, so God is in everything you do, whether you like it or not. The issue with us is understanding more about God. Then you will appreciate why God is in everything we do. So it says, "Oh God, protect us from the hidden pitfall." We're asking God to help us from the dangers we're not aware of, the things we could fall into, all the traps set before us. Yeah, the hidden pitfall. And then ask Him to guide our movements lest we go astray. If God is not guiding us, we will do what we like and go astray. And He said, "Give us the strength to heed the humanist call." Now, in spite of what has happened to us, we have to rise to the standard of doing what is humane, to helping those in need, the humanist call. Yeah? And if you're doing the humanist call, you don't get compassion fatigue. He says to give and not to count the cost. For those of you when we ask you to help the media support, so I don't know about, who is this money exactly going to? Yeah? Who are we giving it to? What did they say they're doing with this money we've been contributing? Yeah, every time, money. So it says to give and not to count the cost each day. It's in your national anthem. Bless those who rule, because if you bless them, if God blesses them, they will serve with resoluteness. They're not going to be shaken when little things start to knock them off course. They will do what is right. And then to make this climate, this environment, a land of righteousness. So I say to you, your national anthem, you should understand it. You should appreciate it. You should praise it. In fact, it's better than most national anthems I come across. And we should sing it with understanding. All hail Biafra. Now we're going to try and sing it. We're going to use the Tony Silver once again. So next evangelism, somebody will come and explain it to us, yes? Okay.
No, talk.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Biafra kwenu. Biafra kwenu. Kwezunu. Okay, let's focus on singing the national anthem. The one I like to sing is this, the Tony Sofa, the BUM. So we sing the first, we sing the Tony Sofa. Please read the Tony Sofa, don't sing it off your head. And then you know the way it goes, right? Because if you don't sing it, in fact, why don't we have some people singing the Tony Sofa and others reading the words? So that way, we are maintaining the music and not going off. Does that make sense? It's a practice. We're not singing it that we would normally sing the national anthem, which we would do when we get to the hall. So we're using this as a rehearsal and a practice. And by the way, there'll be people who watching this screen say, "Oh, you should have been standing. Oh, your hat should be off." Oh. They got it all right, but they're armchair spectators and they criticize everything you do. Ignore them. We are trying to learn. So let us practice singing. Not as a disrespect, as a means of understanding. So when we then go in a position where we can stand. Oh, by the way, we can't stand where we're the coach. Yeah, it's the thing. So just in case people don't know, they'll tweet it and say they should be standing. There are people like that. And they'll maybe. Okay, so we're going to sing this national anthem. Everybody, first of all, I think this side will be singing the Tony Sofa for us, which means mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi, do. But don't rush it. Let's sing it slowly. Let's absorb the words. We're going to sing the Tony Sofa, and this side, we sing the words. Yes? I will join you in singing the words, and you guys will back us up with the Tony Sofa, the music. Does that make sense? Everybody know what we're singing? Okay, we'll practice by singing the Tony Sofa. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Mi, re, mi, fa. Everybody singing the Tony Sofa. Mi, re, mi, do, re, mi. We're singing the Tony Sofa, everybody. Mi, re, mi, fa. Mi, re, mi, do, re, mi. So, la. Mi, mi, so, re, re, fa. Fa, mi, re, mi. Do, re, re, mi, mi. So, la. Mi, mi, so, re, re, fa. Fa, mi, re, mi. Do, re, re, do. Carry on this side, sing it. Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish. Beloved homeland of our great heroes, we must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes. But if the price is that for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. Verse 2. Hail to Biafra, consecrated nation. O fatherland, this be our solemn pledge. Live and may be, shall meet our dedication. Swear in our blood, we'll count our privilege. The waving standard, wish and borders that free, shall always be our flag of liberty. Verse 3. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the globe sable unscathed will pass. When we are poised, the wounds of battle to heal, we shall remember those who died in my
God protect us from the hidden pitfall. Guide our movement lest we go astray. Give us the strength to heed the humanist call, to give and not to count the cost each day. Bless those who rule to serve with resoluteness, to make this climb a land of righteousness. Oh hail Biafra! Oh hail Biafra! Biafra! Freedom! Biafra! Freedom! Well done, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So does that help?
Yes, so much.
I'm not fucking about.
We love it. We love it.
Now know how to sing the national anthem. Make sure you sing it properly in the home. This time, these guys will be singing the words. This guy will be doing the turning sofa. Okay.
Is this after they've had a drink?
Okay, I can't hear the voices though. Those who can sing, you will sing. I want you to sing parts. Most of you have been in the choir and all that. Those of you can sing bass, I like to hear it. Treble and all that, so sing your hearts out, yeah? Let's do this properly. We're on 3. These people will be doing the turning sofa. You guys will be doing the words. And saying and singing with meaning. Everybody will join in the turning sofa, so we are set in our mind, you know, okay? And then once we finish singing the turning sofa together, you branch off. You will sing the words, and you guys will continue. Don't rush it, because if you rush it, they will not catch up with you, yeah? Okay. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Mi, re, mi, fa. Mi, re, mi, do, re, mi. Mi, re, mi, fa. Mi, re, mi, do, re, mi. So, la. Mi, mi, so, re, re, fa. Fa, mi, re, mi. Do, re, mi. So, la. Mi, mi, so, re, re, fa. Fa, mi, re, mi. Do, re, do. Turn yourself out. Second verse. Hail to Biafra, me good. Mi, re, mi, fa. Mi, re, mi, do, re, mi. So, la. Mi, mi, so, verse 3. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscathed will pass. When we are poised, the wounds on battle to heal, we shall remember those who died in mass. Then shall our trumpet peal the glorious song of victory. We scored by might and wrong. Last verse. Let's sing. Oh God, protect us from the hidden pitfall. Guide our movements lest we go astray. Give us the strength to hit the humanist goal, to give and love, to count the cost each day. Bless those who grow to serve with resoluteness, to make this climb our land of righteousness. Oh, hail Biafra! Biafra!
Freedom!
Biafra!
Freedom!
Well done, everybody. Hooray! Well done, everybody. So you can now sing and teach your national anthem. Well done. Right, the next trick is to show you this leaflet. It says Biafra, the case for independence. Anyone seen this?
Yes.
Okay. Now I need you to send your national anthem back to me, unless you got a pound to pay me.
Thank you.
If you want to buy it, because I need to reproduce it. Thank you. Because we're going to use